Hey, Ben here, and I want to talk about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And more importantly, what I want to talk about is where I think Rebirth will end. Originally, I wanted FF7 Rebirth to end when Aerith dies. Because that is the end of Disc 1, I believe. You know, Sephiroth comes down, plunges Aerith humbles over, and then obviously the materia drops out, falls into the pool of water, and the somber music plays, and the emotions are running wild, and then you fight Jenova. Jenova Life, I think it is. Someone will be able to tell me if I'm incorrect on that one. And yeah, Square Enix will get the emotions from us, but then I was like, no, I don't think they'll go through with that. I think, side topic, that Aerith will survive temporarily. I think we will all think Aerith is going to die at that point. Square Enix will swerve us, and she will die at a later point, not too far later on, to invoke that that emotion from us that we got when we played the original Final Fantasy VII. Which is why I thought, you know what, that's when Rebirth can end, when Aerith dies. Eventually, whether that is at the Forgotten Capital or whether that is later on, depending on what they do, timeline-wise. It wasn't until they did their development comment number 3, where they was talking about destiny and character narrative developments, and I was like, somebody asked me, because I thought, Destiny, you say, with Sephiroth Gift coming down to impale Aerith. This is where I wanted the game to end originally. And then someone said, shout out to Marius Boss, and said, I'm going to guess that this here will not happen, or something else will happen instead. And I said, I feel you on that one, because that's how I feel. You know, what would you think would happen instead? And it wasn't until somebody said that it's going to be Tifa. Right, just for the record, I don't think Tifa is going anywhere. I think Tifa is completely safe. But I think the logical place for FF7 Rebirth to end is after Cloud gives Sephiroth the black materia, where Sephiroth in the Northern Crater then casts Meteor. Because you know what happens? Northern Crater goes to you know what. The weapons come alive, and chaos happens. Now, for anyone that's not played Final Fantasy VII, now you remember they want this to be a standalone game. For anyone that's never played Final Fantasy VII, they are going to think Cloud is dead. They're going to think Cloud died in the Northern Crater. And that's going to play on people's emotions. They may then, at that point, want to go play the original game to find out. Some won't. Some, for some reason, can't get past the graphical way FF7 was back in 1997. But they're going to be sat there going, oh my gosh, our main character, Cloud, is dead. Obviously, we know he's not dead. But it seems like the best place to end it. I also toyed with ending it at the Temple of the Ancients. You know, when you get the black materia originally. But no, you know what? I think that's a better place. You know, you're at the Whirlwind Maze, you beat Jenova Death, you reclaim the black materia, and then everything happens. Because that Jenova Death fight, if it's going to be called that, or whatever they're going to do, is going to be insane. That Jenova fight in normal rebate that Jenova fight in the first remake was insane and unexpected, may I add. I did not expect to fight Jenova so quickly in the series. But think about that. Whatever the FF7 Part 3 will be called, reunion probably, I think is the word going around. Imagine that. The word reunion, not only the meaning behind, you know, the reunion that Sephiroth / Jenova and all that lot are going on about, but the reunion of starting Part 3 as Barrett and Tifa in Junon, and they've just seen the big Mako cannon that they've taken from Midgar. This and the other, ready to blast the you-know-what out of those weapons. But, and you know, and they're about to go for a public execution, and you get all that stuff, and Kate Sif comes to the rescue, and then you get the epic slap-off, and then they reunite with Sid and the airship, and oh my god, it's all coming together. They reunite with Sid and the airship and everyone else, you know, and then you go on the task of finding Cloud. Eventually, after, I mean, if you're like me and you played the OG game, back when there was no internet, and he was like, where the bloody hell do I go now? And you go into every freaking place trying to find out where to go. And then eventually you end up at Mideel and you find Cloud. And then, you know, Cloud's got to go into the live stream after Ultimate Weapon attacks. And then he goes through all that stuff where he finally realizes that he's been living through Zack, you know. And that's also where I think, spoiler alert for part 3, I think if this whole timeline thing is real, that's where things may cross over. That makes sense. I'll talk about that in another video, you know, for part 3. But yeah, it just seems like a perfect fit for where part 2 to end and part 3 to start, especially if part 3 is called Reunion. There's just so many other meanings off that title that there can be. Yeah, I really wanted to get my opinion out of where I think, you know, things are going to go before the Summer Games Fest, which I believe happens about 8 p.m. my time, and it's currently 12:38 now. So I wanted to get that out before that, just so that if big if they are teasing so hard, if we get something, you know, tonight, a trailer or anything. Yeah, I just wanted something out there first beforehand. Anyway, I'm going off a tangent now, and I've kept you here long enough. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Where do you think the story of Rebirth is going to go? Where do you think it's going to finish? Let's all talk about it, because I am very intrigued now. My excitement is starting to build up to even higher levels than they were originally. So yeah, let me know. Have a great day, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.